another NBA playoff episode with the OG crew. We got Dutchy back from looked like he was having a good time. Good to have you back, Dutch. I'm gonna come to you first. How you feeling today?
The NBA is a hell of a drug. And you're looking at the plugs. Yeah, man. It's good to be back with you fellas. I did miss you last week. I ain't gonna lie. Feet in the sand, life's a beach. Hey, and I'm just living in it, man. It was a beautiful thing. Florida, always nice. I swear. Only thing I'm missing here in Vegas is the beach, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. We're pretty spoiled out here, but my ass got to go back Florida a couple times a year. It's only right, as our boy Wham Bam would say. But definitely, definitely affected me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. Not being on the show affected my account. I was in vacay mode, and I ended up after that Cavaliers game. I believe it was on Tuesday of last week. I kind of just I was like, you know what? Let me just enjoy and vacation. So I'm back on the grind, ready to rock and roll, and got smacked the fuck around. Got took behind the old woodshed yesterday with the Denver Nuggets. So ready to get back intact. Got let's say one great series and one that should be a little something. One definitely there's levels to this shit in my opinion. But definitely good to be back with y'all. Yesterday was a humbling experience for me. I did not see that happening to the Denver Nuggets. So back on track today and ready to get back in the black.
Yeah, let's get to it. But Bano, we're talking off air. I know you got some nice stuff going. How's the NBA been treating you? What's going on with you today?
Yeah, I mean the NBA has been pretty good actually in this round so far. You're right. I actually took a shot with Denver as well last night. I wasn't overly confident, but I said this the spot that they've got to answer, and they just got absolutely destroyed. Both ends of the floor. Minnesota was just tremendous versatility offensively. It was not Anthony Edwards is outstanding. I think Anthony Edwards is going to be an all-time great NBA player. I mean, he's starting to look at that with that kind of ceiling right now. Some of the plays he's making, so not just the scoring, it's the playmaking, it's the effort, it's the motor that he plays with for 48 minutes. He doesn't come off the court very much. His defense and his effort away from the basketball is just out of this world. He's special, and he's showing everyone that right now. Then you factor in, I've never seen Jokic more frustrated. I've never seen Jokic look more small in a game than he did last night. I mean, they're throwing McDaniels at him and Reed and all these big bodies, and they're frustrating the fuck out of that guy. Like he's short arming and missing these layups and these putbacks and these hook shots that he's gonna make in his sleep. 9 times out of 10. And Minnesota is just driving him nuts with getting up in his grill, crowding his time and space, taking it away, and just making things very miserable for him in the paint. And I don't know if I've seen a team defend at the level in a long time in the NBA playoffs that Minnesota is right now. It's been extremely impressive. Then the other game, look, a little bit of a fortuitous call goes New York's way late. That absolutely was not a kickball, that situation. So you look at it, it should have been Indiana's ball. Dante, not delivery. It's DiVincenzo. It's the 3. And then, of course, turns the game toward the New York Knicks. It's a tough way to lose for Indiana. They battled the Knicks pretty well in that game. We'll see how they bounce back in game 2. But Knicks find a way again, and another 40 spot for Jalen Brunson, who continues to just put together one of the dominant performances right there, him and Edwards in these NBA playoffs. They've both been amazing.
Yeah, they have, and I'm a big fan of Anthony Edwards. I'll just say that up. He looks like that guy. I absolutely agree. Let's move to the big stepper over there at the top. Wham Bam. How you feeling? How's NBA been treating you?
Yeah, I just put the big stepper shirt on, man. Y'all know what's been going on, man. It's only right, bro. It's only right. And yeah, man, I'm excited about today. Man. We got 2. I think these are going to be 2 competitive series. I don't think it's going to be as much of a level as you may think. I don't think the Cleveland Cavaliers are that bad. I think they priced as they bad, though. They are priced as that, so maybe you can get them while they low. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm going to say it as far as that goes. But I think yesterday was great. I did think that the Pacers pretty much laid an egg. They've missed the opportunity, and maybe this is one of those things that this is what I thought that team wasn't capable of holding it down, because they looked like they had crazy good defense early on in that game, and it wasn't looking like the same Pacers team. I was tripped out. Honestly, I want to watch that game over because I feel like I missed something within that first half that they were doing. So I got to go back and watch that game. So obviously the way they folded, I think that's going to be something mental, something probably later on in the series, especially if they get dogged the next game. It's just that probably will mess them all the way up. So I will hope to see them competitive next game. And then also other than that, I mean, like you said, Babano, 2 games in a row, and it looks like this team is just that last series with the Timberwolves. They pretty much had everybody on their damn rosters getting double digits, and then this series, they don't really need that. They don't even need everyone to contribute. They need everyone to play in on defense, and that's what they did. That's what they did those last few games, and I don't think that's going to go away in Minnesota. So I don't think they're going to get sweep Tasha. I think they are going to give some respect to the champs. They're not going to get swept, but it might be over in 5 here. I don't think no one is going to. We haven't even seen Ant Edwards really like have a dominant. Like he hasn't really dominated these first 2 games. It was mostly everyone. So I think that it might be curtains there. Or it's hard to call these playoffs early, and I don't want to do that for sure. Especially these are professional players. But I mean, that don't look good, man. Especially you guys know how the sentiment I was having with the Denver. I know that they're not going to win this championship this year. I don't know how they're going to go out in fashion, but I do expect them to go out sometime this year. I mean, sometimes this next round, especially in this round, I think they're out of here.
Well, let's talk about these couple games that we have going today. See if we can find some money. First up, at least in rotation order, is Dallas and OKC. OKC opened as a 3-point favorite. They are 3.5. And the total moved up 4 points to 218.5. So Babano, Mr. Hamilton himself, he's getting a chance on the big stage. Do you think he gets it done versus Luka the Don and Kyrie?
Well, personally, from a betting standpoint, I don't need to do much in this series from a side perspective because I have Dallas to win the West and the championship, 7-1 for each. And I have Oklahoma City from before the season, 45-1 to win the West, 80-1 to win the NBA championship. Now, part of that was, look, I loved what I saw from them last year, that they made big steps forward. And I just thought coming into this year, get into the playoffs if you're Oklahoma City. Who the hell knows what can happen once you get in? I didn't think they're going to be the number 1 seed in the West. I'd be totally lying if I said that when I made those bets, that they'd be that good in the regular season. And they followed it up with obviously a terrific performance against the New Orleans Pelicans in the first round. They were awesome. And I think when you look at this roster, they look a lot like Minnesota, a young up-and-coming team that's got versatility, that can play inside, outside, that defends. There's a lot to like here. Rebounds. There's a lot to like here with Oklahoma City. There's no doubt. I think they're a very complete, well-rounded team with SGA, an MVP candidate, with Chet Holmgren down low, with Jalen Williams' emergence, with what they've got on their bench. There's definitely a lot to like here with Oklahoma City. Now the question is, can this well-rounded team, defense, offense, rebounding, the elite MVP level player in SGA leading the way, can this well-rounded overall unit be enough to take down 2 guys in Kyrie and Luka that are good enough when they're on their game in the same game to win for Dallas against anybody, when they're both feeling it and Kyrie decides to take over, like he did in a couple of those games against the LA Clippers in the first round, or when Luka gets it rolling and he hits that fall away step back 3 with 2 seconds left on the shot clock. How many times have we seen that in his career? So it's a hell of a matchup. Like I said, I think the overall team for Oklahoma City I prefer. I think it's going to come down to who's going to step up and support Luka and Kyrie. Is Derek Lively going to have a good series? Can we get Tim Hardaway making some shots for them? Is Kleba, going to have his shot falling or not? Those guys are going to have a really good series here for Dallas to help out Luka. It can't just be all Luka and Kyrie. They're going to have a huge part in Dallas winning or losing this series. But it's definitely got to be getting the support from some of the other cast of characters as well in this series. I wish I could give you something on game 1. I think game 1 typically, and I know I feel this way when it comes to the NHL, and I kind of feel this way when it comes to the NBA. And I know last night I cashed a ticket with the over in game 1 between the Pacers and the Knicks. I kind of feel game 1, that defensive intensity is not there as much. I think maybe we'll see something along those lines tonight. Not to mention the fact that when we look at Oklahoma City, it's a team that's been off for quite some time. Just don't know if that defensive intensity here tonight is going to be as high as maybe we'll see it later on in the series. So I do have an over bet here. It's 218.5 right now. I think I got it at 217.5. It's moved a little bit since I got in on it, but I still like it at the current number. I have nothing on the side. And a lot of that is because, look, I'm in a wonderful spot here. I'm going to have a Dallas or Oklahoma City future live in the Western Conference Finals, regardless of who wins this series. That being said, if I were to take a position here in game one, I'd lean to the Thunder minus the 3.5. Because I don't trust Dallas in a game one on the road. Hell, we saw what happened against the Clippers. They had a terrible game one. So maybe it's going to take them a game to get going a bit. But like I said, I would lean Thunder, but I have no need to lay 3.5 with Oklahoma City in game one with the position I'm in.
I agree with a lot of what you said. I mean, half of what you said. The other half I don't agree with. Chris says the Mavs are 0-4 straight up against the spread in game one unders. And Mavs are 0-4 straight up and against the spread in game ones under J Kidd in the playoffs. Those games are 3-1 to the under. So they haven't had success in the first games. And I think that's kind of how this one goes. I think the Thunder, even matchup wise, like I don't like that the Mavericks don't have Kleba. And I just think OKC can clog the paint and it's gonna make Dallas take a lot of tough shots. And Luca lately he hasn't been hitting his threes probably because his knee is messed up.
Yep.
So I think they're gonna struggle to score a little bit from the Dallas side. And Dallas defense though has been a big reason why they've been good down the stretch. So I do trust them in that regard. So I like the under. I do agree on the OKC side. And now I pass to somebody who I think is not going to agree with us on the side. Dutch, how you feeling about Luka the Don versus the Thunder?
Yeah, man. What a series we got here. Our boy Nets Bets in the building. Good to see you, my dude. BJ's best bet, OKC money line. Dropping that. G Martinez, good to see you, my man. Cheshire Cat. Smokey McLeod. Everybody run up the motherfucking likes real quick. Muchly appreciated. Yeah, man. I mean, there's a lot of talent on the court. A lot of motherfucking talent on the court. But you see it, man. There's only one. There's only one ace of spades, man. You know, he's Luka the motherfucking Don. There's only one in the deck, god damn it. And it's Luka the motherfucking Don. Believe it. Shay's nice. He nice. But Kyrie might even give his ass a run for the second best player on the court. But we probably give it to Shay. But don't let Kyrie fuck around and be Uncle Drew, because we've seen what he can do. God damn, he been playing real nice. The best thing going, Luka the Don and Kyrie. Believe that. So I'm telling you right now, it's a tough game. I like these motherfuckers ain't played in 8 days. Give me the Mavericks first half. I like them first quarter too. I'm gonna take them first half. I think they might start off a little slow here. We've seen both teams now play. We've seen we did see Minnesota start off a little slow, but creep up in that game one against Denver. Did it really come out? We've seen Indiana come out real strong against the Knicks in game one. I lean, and both teams covered game one, so I definitely lean Mavericks first full game here. Maybe I'll stay away depending on how good Skee gonna come on here with the OKC Thunder buddy shit. But first half, Luka the Don, Kyrie. I wouldn't be surprised if they steal this one. Size, man. Size is a big thing in this issue. This starting lineup, I believe, is too small for Dallas. You say they're going to clog the paint. I mean, they ain't got no – I mean, Chet is a shot blocker. But outside of that – and he's light. What is he, at 185, soaking wet? I mean, Gafford could give him a little bit of body. Honestly, I think P.J. Washington could give him a little bit of body. So I think this defense, the role players, it's a perfect fit to keep these boys in the game. Derrick Jones does what he's supposed to do, get every loose ball and play nonstop defense. P.J. Washington knocked down the open corner shot, and this team will be extremely, extremely hard to beat. You know that you're not going to outwork them now with this roster. You got Tim Hardaway Jr. coming back off it. If he can give you anything from the bench, it's a plus. I think they've outworked these boys' toughness. It's hard to say because it's the Dallas Mavericks and Luka the motherfucking Don, but they kind of play a little bit like the Knickerbockers over there in the East Coast. I think they out-rebound them a little bit. I think they're too light. I think they're a little too light here for OKC. The bench does worry me, though, a little bit for Dallas. So they got to get production from Tim Hardaway Jr. I think he could be big in this series. But keep the game close. And if you keep this game close, man, we know what the fuck will happen in the fourth quarter. Luka the motherfucking Don will handle business. He has not played that well. They just beat the Clippers pretty easily with Luka playing average basketball, still putting up solid numbers. But if you're watching the games, his three is not hitting. He's missing shots that he usually hits. He actually looked the most comfortable in game 6. In Game 6, he looked a little bit more like Luka. Still did not shoot well from the field. But if you watched him move, his adjustments, he looked a lot smoother in that basketball game. I think we see a little bit more efficient Luka. And watch for these boys, man. I don't think OKC's no fucking lock by any means with these boys. A lot of people like the Thunder today. I might tread lightly with these boys. Give me the Mavericks first half. It's good money.
Interesting, but not surprising. Now, I'm gonna slide it over to.
You got the Mavericks in the West, though. Like you don't
I
think
do.
you know? So you like
My
something
my
about
thought
these
is
motherfuckers.
my thought is
I know it's game
they
to
don't.
game.
The comment that came up, I already knew that they don't play good in game ones for one,
Right.
and I really want. I'm a believer that the rest is good for OKC, so I just didn't want to bet against that. Will I be comfortable coming back with the Mavs in game two? Probably, just not tonight.
And I get it. And and not to mention OKC had a walk round one.
Oh.
I mean, CJ McCollum was MIA. No Zion. BI was obviously not healthy.
I was about to talk about.
These motherfuckers had a walk against the Pelicanos.
Bi was in jail.
Yeah.
Bam, talk about it. What you think about this?
Oh man, they had that boy in Rikers. They had him in Bay, wherever else.
They had him in shackles. Shackles.
Shackles, bro. Wherever Drake was talking about the ancestors, that's where they had him at.
Yeah.
He had him at them. Yeah, man. OKC had a walk down, bro. 4 games straight. They haven't played since the 29th. They've been chilling. Like you said, what is it, 8 days, 9 days, or some shit like that? It's been a long time since they played. And they're going up against a team that is pretty much, I'm not saying tired legs, but they got everything juices rolling. As far as that bench scare, that's one thing I wanted to look up. I wanted to see what type of bench production they had in that last round. Obviously, the Clippers was keeping them up. They had 26 points. They was close behind them at 24.8 points bench production in that series. And that's ranked 5th in so far in the playoffs there. The only teams that's better than that is Pacers, Orlando, and Timberwolves, and the Clippers, of course. But obviously, I think that the Dallas Mavericks is right where this guy Dutch said, man, they're waiting on Luka. They waiting on Luka to show the fuck up. And that's the reason why I'm stuck. I was torn in this game, and I didn't want to jump here because you said it, bro. Luka's been trash. Those 4 games, last 4 games at least, he was like 17% from 3. He is not fucking making a shot, and everyone else is efficient. Kyrie's 54% from 54 or something around there from 3. Maxi Kleber, who's not going to be here today, he was shooting lights out from 3. Now they may get Tim Hardaway to contribute with them today. That could help them with that bench production. I think that Maxi Kleber not being there, that's definitely not gonna help them. But I think Kyrie, 42% from 3 is what he's shooting, 52% from the field. And then you got Derrick Jones Jr., who's, I mean, he's not necessarily a guy that's going to be there in offense, but the lob threat and the fact that he is making his open threes in that last series, you're gonna have to stick him. You have to guard him here. And then you got to wait for those other guys to show up, like PJ Brown, Washington. I think his 3 has to drop in this series just based off of matchup alone. They need him to keep Chet out the paint. They don't want Chet down there making havoc around the rim. Chet is pretty much. I think this is the reason why OKC is hard for me to bet against, because I think if they have, Chet play good and then it's just getting me a little 30 piece from Shea, that's all they need to win this game. But I don't think this is going to be a cupcake series. I don't think they're going to walk these guys down like they did New Orleans. This will be a Luka showing. I'm not sure if it's going to be game 1, though. So I'm scared. I'm in church. I want to take the Mavericks. I'm not going to lie. I want to take the Mavericks. Skee kind of scared me off, though. I'm not going to lie. So I'm going to respect my homies here. And I think the under probably is the best play here. I think playoff atmosphere, there's going to be it's going to be that type of time here. And if Luka's bricking, bro, it really gonna be Thunder smashed by it, right? That's all I'm gonna say. If Luka's bricking, if they giving them 17% from 3, ain't no way Thunder not gonna win this game and cover. So I'm scared, and I'm in church. I want to watch this as a fan the first game.
No problem with that. You have plenty of more opportunities to bet either team the rest of the way. Let's move it over to the next game on the slate, and that is Cavs and Boston. Boston now 12.5 point favorite, and total went up from 209 to 211.5. Jared Allen, let me see if I can refresh here. He's still game time decision, and we know Boston's without Porzingis. So Cleveland did play a tough 7 game series. Boston series was not as tough. I have a feeling Dutch. This is a little bit of levels to this one.
Yeah, man, absolutely. There's levels to this shit. Jared Allen, I don't know if he's gonna suit up tonight. Shout out to D Mitchell though. You know, he played one hell of a series. If it wasn't for him, they definitely wouldn't be playing Boston right now. And he might be already. His comment was, "Oh, he's just as tired of losing in the first round." Well, you about to lose in the motherfucking second round, bro. But congratulations, you did play your ass off against the Orlando Magic. But they get punked. They get punked in Orlando. I mean, they got punked on the road. Three games in Orlando, all 3 L's, average loss, 22 points per game. How many points they score in them motherfuckers? Under 90, 89 points per game. Come on now. Now you're going into Boston, and what do you think's going to happen? That was in Orlando. And now you just played a 7-game series. Just played the other night. You traveling to Boston on a well-rested team who gave away a game at home as a 14-point favorite last series. So you think they're going to overlook these boys? I don't even think. Jaylen Brown definitely is not. His comment was, they still remember 2018 when they got knocked the fuck out by Cleveland. And you know, with the LBJ and them boy, you know, they let them know about it. So, you know, they don't like these boys going back from all the times, you know, Beantown and the Cavaliers. LBJ ain't there no more, so it ain't the same, but they still don't like them motherfuckers. So I think the Cavaliers are in big trouble, not only in this series, but tonight. You know, numbers getting a little crazy now. But this should be early, you know, it should be early KO, you know, early Mike Tyson type shit, like get knocked out in the first 45. You know what I mean? It could be at mid first quarter and this motherfucker already 6. Like damn near Minnesota did to Denver last night. We're gonna happen tonight. But the home team, in my opinion. So you know, there's clearly levels to this shit. And I think Cleveland's very soft. I think they're very soft. I think Orlando exploited them and they opened my eyes. I lost about 6 units on the Cavaliers in that last series. So if Orlando could have made a shot in that second half, after Banchero went for 24 in game 7 in that first half, I mean, he was spreading the ball, doing his thing. Nobody could buy a fucking bucket in that second half. So I feel Orlando lost that instead of Cavaliers actually winning it. And we'll see tonight that they don't even really belong in this next level. So Boston full game, I like it, man. It's good money.
Wham Bam, you agreeing with that? You betting Boston some way, shape, or form?
Yeah, man. Give me Nasty Nate. Where you at, Nasty Nate? I need your energy, brother. I need these boys to be the big steppers. This is definitely, I hope it is levels to start off. I think there is going to be a little bit more competitiveness here because I'm not going to lie. JB Bickerstaff got exposed last series. I think he didn't really have these boys prepared, bro. They don't really look like they was ready to beat up. They thought they were just going to smash through the Magic. And they looked like they were because the Magic were kind of scared in the first few games. And that's kind of what Dutch was talking about back in 2018. This Boston team was pretty much like the Orlando Magic. They was scared. They was scared of LeBron and all them boys. They came out and won the first 2 games up 2-0 against them and then end up folding, only winning 1 game to go out that series there. So hell yeah, they remember that shit because that's really like the start of, you know, that core to, you know, getting their wings under them basically. Now that they are there, even without Porzingis, we all know they're still supposed to win this damn series. We all know they're supposed to win this series even without Porzingis. So there's no necessarily a spot for the Cavs to be able to catch the Celtics off guard, especially the way Jimmy Butler tried to punk him last round. That woke the cat up. That's what you just mentioned, Dutch. Like that woke the cat up. Now they're not necessarily scared, or not necessarily scared, but now they're not going to make those same mistakes that they did last series. I don't think, or at least try to play this team as punks. I don't think they're going to do that either here. So, Nasty Nate, I'm with you, bro. I'm with the trifecta spot here. Only thing I haven't took was the first quarter, but I am on the full game first half. Celtics -7 was what I got it. So we're going to officially get a 7.5 at bookmaker -108. And then I'm taking that full game -12, man. I think that I'm just going to say it is levels to it. But that game 7 is going to hurt them. And I think that once you get Drew Holiday to eliminate one of those guards, I hope it's Donovan because he's the one that seems like the more proven one. You stop Donovan, man, this team is going to be – you cut the water off these guys. So the offense is going to be the trouble here. Threes will be falling for the Celtics, I believe. And then I believe they're going to have trouble here. And should be a Jason Tatum masterclass, I think. Even though Max Strus, he got that matchup with him last few years. He's been going up against that boy. But that's all they really going to have there on the wing position to try to stop him there. I don't think Okoro or any of those guys are going to be able to do anything with him. So Jason Tatum is the guy that I want to key in on. Obviously, Derek White, his numbers is ridiculous. 3.5 threes, 16.5 points. Hold on, man. We're going to wait Caillou. We're going to let Caillou do this first. We're going to see what he do game one. I don't think he's going to hit these numbers game one. Maybe they bring those down to more earth there, and we can tap on with Caillou pause. But I'm going to stay away from the props in this game. We're going to strictly with the side. And I'm bleeding green, bro. I'm taking the Celtics first half full game.
Well, first half has been dominant all year. I think it'll continue being dominant again here today. Bano, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, right now, it's not just that Cleveland obviously is going to have a tough time against Boston, but it's also the 7-game series factor. They're coming off the 7 games against Orlando. It's a tough turnaround. Not easy, for Cleveland to be ready right from game one. Bickerstaff to have to turn around and prepare quickly for a Boston on this short turnaround. And then you look at, obviously, the season series, and Cleveland did win at home, but in Boston, it was 120-113 Celtics, 116-107 for the Celtics in those 2 games. But again, there were some of those instances where Boston didn't have a full-strength team. The question, though, is the one thing that is something to factor in moving forward is, after tonight, because I don't think this is a great situation for Cleveland, but, I would be interested, I think, in Cleveland game 2, if they get drilled tonight, because we did see Miami get their one win in the first round against Boston in game 2, and Boston kind of thought, wow, such an easy game 1, and we kind of maybe took Miami for granted in game 2. And Cleveland's still better than Miami. I mean, Miami, especially without Jimmy Butler and Terry Rozier, they had a lot of key pieces out, no question about that really hampered their ability to compete with the Celtics. But for tonight, it's probably a tough spot for Boston. I approached it a bit differently, though. I mean, you could lay the first half. I mean, certainly we know the Celtics at home have been a great first half team. The overall record, just incredible on their home court this year, no question. You could go full game, although to me that's a little pricey, 12.5. I'm going to go team total for Boston tonight. That's going to be the look for me. Over 111.5 is the current number right now with Boston for their team total. They got to 116 and 120 in the 2 home games this year against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Both of those over this number. So I don't know if anything changes here tonight in this matchup. And also keep in mind, too, other than the game 2 loss against Miami, where I kind of think they fell asleep a little bit after the big game 1 win, the other 2 games in the Miami series on their home court at TD Garden, Boston scored 114, 118. So again, both of those good enough to go over this number as well. So for me, that's the look. That's just Boston team total over 111.5.
Well, I guess another total where we disagree. I think I like this one a little bit lower scoring here. I think the Celtics, I mean, your bet could win and the full game can still stay under. I think the Cavs really struggle to score in this game. Celtics going to dominate with defense like they did in the last series. But I just have a feeling that in that fourth quarter, if they're beating them so bad, they kind of just take it a little easy to end the game. So I like the under, maybe a Cavs team total under, however you want to look at it. But good stuff by everybody. And but Beno, I know you probably have an opinion, even if it's not a detailed one. But anything on the look ahead for tomorrow, Indiana, New York?
I'm going to be on the Pacers tomorrow for sure. I saw nothing in game 1 that tells me the Knicks are going to win games easily in this series. In fact, you can make an argument Indiana should have won game 1. They had a bad call go against them at the end of that game. My only concern is Indiana, feels like we had that one in our fingertips and we let it slip away. I don't think they're going to have that mindset. I think they come back strong. Let's not forget they got drilled in game 1 by Milwaukee when Damian Lillard went nuts in the first half. They came back game 2 in Milwaukee. They played a lot better, and they ended up tying up the series. Now, it's going to be a lot tougher. Knicks are better than the Bucks. No one, let's not kid ourselves. Much better. But I think Indiana showed that they've got a blueprint to compete in this series. They showed it last night. I think they'll show it again here. So give me the 5 here with Indiana tomorrow night. I was on the over in game 1. I think it might kind of go the other way. This could be a zigzag with the total type of series as well. when you look at it. I really like the over last night. I think when we get back to Indiana, there'll be some spots to look at the over again. But I don't know if tomorrow night's going to be one of those. And then the other game tomorrow night with the NBA, of course, Minnesota and Denver. I want nothing to do with Denver right now. Now, it doesn't mean I'm going to take Minnesota here because now you're laying 4.5. Think about the difference. Think about now how the perception is on Denver. Everyone's given up on them. Everyone has quit on them. And you saw Denver laying 7, 6.5, 7. And even in game 1, they were only laying, 4.5, 5. And now here's Minnesota, at home laying 4.5 here in game 3. So there's been a little bit of an adjustment here. But at the same time, I don't know if I trust Denver. I know there's championship mentality there with Jokic and with Murray, but boy, oh boy, oh boy. I mean, they just look like they have no answers for this Timberwolves defense. And if they had no answers for this Timberwolves defense on a home court where they've been dominant for the last 2 years, with Murray not quite 100%, throwing, the hot pack on the court and it's bad body language. It was bad body language all game last night as they were getting drilled. And now you're going back to the frenzied environment. Like Minnesota didn't have any sort of interest in laying their foot off the gas pedal last night and saying, we're satisfied with one win in Denver. We can go back to Minnesota with a sweep, with a split. No, they didn't think that way. They said, we're coming here to get 2 wins in Denver. Now they're going to go back home to a strong home court. Crowd's going to be going nuts. They absolutely plastered Phoenix on that home court in the first 2 games of the first round. There's nothing that could get me to take Denver. Now, I don't think this is a buy low spot for Minnesota either. So I don't think I'm laying the points, but if I had to, it'd be the home favorite for me.
Fair enough. And I'll say that, we'll get a chance to talk about probably even that a little bit more because we have a show before the next game. They don't play tomorrow. They play on Friday. So for myself, I'll go real quick on this game. Pacers and Knicks. I'm not into laying points with the Knicks. That's what it boils down to. I'm willing to bet them as a pick 'em. I'm willing to take points with them. But laying, expecting them to win by multiple possessions, I just don't view them as that kind of a team. So it'll be either the Pacers as a side at +5 or, I think they can go over this number again. They started off slow in that first half. It took for the second half for them to get going. I think they continue to go right out the gate. So lean over.
I couldn't help but notice OG Anunoby had a hard time guarding and defending his old teammate there, Pascal Siakam, at times last night. So very interesting to see that.
I was surprised.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie, I was very surprised. Dutch, you got any opinion on Pacers Knicks?
Big mute, bro. Big mute.
Yeah, my fault. Good, because I was coughing. But yeah, with the fucking Pacers Knicks, yeah, I think the Knicks, man, they bully him. I think they bully him. I mean, goddamn. I mean, Pacers 32 assists, 7 turnovers. That's pretty damn good. I mean, pretty damn good. They still lose though. Siakam had a solid game. Howley ain't the way, man. What the fuck is he? Is McConnell the better point guard now? I mean, what the fuck? +9 to -12. I mean, 22, 18 and 18 points, Mr. McConnell. I don't know, man. And them outfits ain't it. I don't know if you've seen what the fuck these boys wearing, man. My money ain't going on Indiana. But I do agree with Skee on this one, though. As we talked about yesterday on the sesh, we bet the Knicks when they down. We bet them. If you bet them at halftime yesterday, you could get the Knicks at pick 'em or plus money yesterday, you winning money. I'm with Skee at that aspect. I don't think Indiana will win a game in New York. I don't believe so. I think Jalen Brunson is the best player by far on the court, and Josh Hart will outwork anybody, and that's just contagious. We know, a little light on the bench, but at the end of the day, I think New York finds a way. So I'm not laying the 5, but I'm hoping exactly what happened game 1. Indiana gets out to a little bit of lead, and we find the Knicks at plus money or just to win the goddamn basketball game is good money.
All right, good stuff on that. Wham Bam, you got any feeling on it?
Yeah, man. Nah, this is definitely, it has to be a Pacer spot. I agree with Bamano here that the way they lost last game, but I'm a little bit more concerned with the way their mental is than in Bamano, though. I think that it's it kind of could be demoralizing the way they lost, especially if this is a harder working team in the Knicks. And they did everything right in that first half for them to be able to win the game, and they just fucking didn't pull it all the way off. So I do agree with this this total though, possibly getting back to the over there, because I don't know. I just think that the Pacers bench is going to continue to play pretty well, and you got to continue to keep up with them if the Knicks have to do so. I'm not necessarily locked in yet on the. I'm not locked in on anything here, but I think if anything, it's going to possibly be the over first half over particular there, because I think that these guys are going to try to run them up early as far as the Pacers there. So that'll probably be the way I'll go. I did lose with the first half Knicks last game. I should have doubled down with the Knicks in the second half. I didn't, so I'm a little annoyed with that, but I'm not really quick to go with the first half here. Again, what I was just saying, I think the Pacers probably start off again fast here, so maybe just over first half. That's the only way I'm thinking about playing in that.
All right, good stuff. And we'll move it on over to the best bet segment now. Wham Bam, like we always do, I slide to you first. Talked about a few different games. Is there one way you'd like to play for a best bet on the show?
Well, it's only right, just in case if somebody's just got here, Scott Foster will be the crew chief here for the Celtics game. We're going to go to that game. We're going to go to Beantown, where they should be mean now and not allow these boys to try to punk them like they tried to do Jimmy Butler last round. Be focused, laser focused. Where's Nasty Nate at? Because I'm thinking trifecta, but we only going to make it a first half, full game. Celtics 12.5, first half, 7.5 there. That's going to be my first bet in this series. And I hope they big step today, just like our boy K-Dot.
Good stuff from Wham Bam. Babano, you are up next. I don't know. I like to guess yours. I think it's going to be a total. What's the best bet for today?
It is going to be Dallas, Oklahoma City over the total for me here. And I know we've got some rare disagreement on this one, but actually, if you look at series history, we've also seen higher scoring affairs between these two teams. And like I said, I just don't feel that game one intensity defensively is as high as we see as the series goes on. And I think we're going to see something similar along those lines here. The one thing, too, about Dallas, we talked about Luka's knee, and at least for him, look at the fact that, coming off, at least they didn't have to play Sunday against the Clippers. He's had now 3 days off. That should help. I just think we get enough points here. And look, many of the head-to-head matchups went over this number, 218, which is what we see right now at DraftKings. So, yeah, Dallas, Oklahoma City over 218 for my best bet.
Good stuff from Babano. And Pretentious Prodigy, I do not know. Nobody tells me ahead of time what their best bet is. I just guess. For mine, I will go to – I'll stay in that same game. And I take OKC. I rarely do this, but I take OKC on the money line. And I'll tell you, home favorites with the rest advantage in the playoffs win about 76% of the time. They've had a lot of time to rest. Dallas is way more banged up than they are. I talked a lot about the matchup advantages for OKC in this series. And Dallas will have to prove me wrong. They have to show me they can win in game one. They haven't been able to do it. So OKC, money line, it's my best bet for the show. And last but not least.
Hey, but wait. Before we even do that, my boy missed the last 3 games, man. We're going to put him on the doghouse here. You give us your bet, but we're going to let Babano close us out, as we should, bro, as we should.
Dutch.
Yeah, I know, right?
What's the freshest look of the day?
It's been a minute. Hey, good to be back, though. Good to be back. Oh, man. Hey, scary ass Skee with the money line. Fuck that. Give me Luka the motherfucking down and them boys. First half. We'll take the first half plus 1.5 minus 105. Hey, man, Luka, them boys come out early, ready to rock and roll. OKC been sitting around for a motherfucking week plus, starting a little slow. That's what I believe. I think the Dallas Mavericks live to win the game. But first half plus 1.5 is good money. Go ahead, Bobano. Take it away.
Shout out to everyone in the chat. Hit the like button. The NBA is a hell of a drug. And you're looking at the plugs. Yeah, man, we're going in. We're coming out with the motherfucking bag. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed, and let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah, man.